9/11, September 11th. Today is September 11th, and I'm Eric Hermanson. And I'm just gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say it's just a fucking day. Now, I have an extra reason for not liking everyone being reverent about 9/11, especially so long after the event, and that's that it happens to be the day right before my birthday. Early on, right after the event, it was a little bit of a downer for a few things that had to happen. There was like my girlfriend, no, my ex-wife, my wife at the time, was setting up a scavenger hunt for me on my birthday. Really nice thing she was doing, and she would go to different bars and ask for them to leave an item there in the bar while in waiting for me to arrive there, and that would be like one of my presents or like a scavenger hunt item or something along those lines. And yeah, so it's 9/12 is my birthday, right? This is the day after 9/11, and this was 1 year after 9/11, and there were like a few bar owners that were just like a little bit like, yeah, I don't know about that. Not to mention all the people who were unfortunate enough to plan their wedding on 9/11, not the same year that it happened, mind you, but like a year after, or 5 years after, or 2 years after, and having to endure some teary-eyed fool getting up in the middle of their beautiful day and saying, lest we never forget, lest we never forget. Okay, I'm giving you permission to forget it. You know why? Because I bet you didn't remember all the other massacres and holocausts and purges and stuff that happened on every fucking day of the year. 9/11, if it means something special to you, I understand, but don't ask for everyone else to have a special reverence for it. There's a lot of shit we all find that is what is important to us and what deserves some reverence, and I'm not going to indulge someone else that wants me to be extra cool on 9/11. 9/11, my day of celebration. As I get ready for my birthday, it's like a pre-celebratory day, not to be confused with celebratory. Okay, so that was absolutely unrelated to anything happening in this live coding session for my game, The God Killer. And I hope I didn't scare anyone off with my stupid rant, which is becoming increasingly less relevant. Yeah, so The God Killer, it's a game I'm making. It's in Unity. It's in C#. And what am I doing on it now? I'll give you a real quick demo. Not of the whole game, just the particular feature I'm into at the moment, making progress on. Okay. So this really isn't a good still frame, but what the heck? Let me hit the play button. Let's see it properly. Okay, so when characters talk in this world, I need some way to show that they're talking, and I insist that the camera never deviate from its top-down view. It's part of the game and how it works. So that creates one small issue, which is if this little character that I'm controlling, if this character here, who's the main thing that I'm controlling, speaks, and there's no camera pointed at her head, you can't see her talking. And like I said, I don't want to have a camera zooming in on the character when she talks, because there might be 0 cutscenes in this game. I've never been a fan of cutscenes. I want the dialogue to happen while the game is playing. It feels self-indulgent to stop the game, to do some little bit of drama that I think is important to the story, but the player just wants to get past. So my solution for this is to create a separate display of the character's face, and here's like a kind of a early stand-in art produced thing for that. And when the character talks, you'll hear the audio of her voice she'll say, "Whoa, what is this weird place I'm in?" with an egg that I just came out of. And you'll see a confused expression on this face over here. And by the way, it'll be a different set of artwork. This is just stand-in art. And you'll see her mouth move, and maybe her eyes move around a little bit. If she talks to somebody else, they also get a little head up above them for when they're speaking. And today, I'm going to make a few refinements to this thing. I'm having a little bit of trouble kind of keeping it in the place I want it to be. And also, it's not scaling with the size of the screen. So if I bring this in, the head stayed the same pixel size while the screen area condensed, so it's now taking a much greater proportion of the screen up, and it's obscuring a whole bunch more stuff. So I want this to be device independent. So if this plays on a small monitor, like a laptop monitor, it'll look okay. If it plays on a large one, it'll look okay. So the head needs to kind of be more reliably centered, and it needs to scale properly. So at least those two things I'm going to accomplish in this session, or become very frustrated. It's the Mr. Meeseeks problem that I set for myself, where a task that I am assigned must be completed before too long or I get upset. So that's what's going on. That's the end of my demo here and my explanation of what I'm doing. Now I'm diving into coding. Must make progress on this. I don't mind being social and talking to people as they come in and chat, but my main purpose for these sessions is to make progress, is to get further along in the game. Alright, so if I look at the player, I've got a whole bunch of tweakables over here. There are some different parts. There's a base, which is kind of like the hair, and kind of sort of like everything that, it's like everything that doesn't move or get animated is the base. Then there's the eyes, which is actually kind of like a mask that goes over the top of the face. There's the irises, which are dark parts of the eyes that can move left and right. And there's the mouth, which can be animated as well. So the eyes, irises, and mouth are animatable. So they have offsets. They're specified underneath in pixel values for where they should be relative to the base. There's also a face scale. Put this up larger. And this is part of the unreliable positioning that I was talking about. So if I scale it up, all of a sudden its general offset for displaying is incorrect. So I need to set that back. 0, 0. Okay, there we go. So I'll just get it centered, or at least where I can kind of see where it's supposed to be. Okay. So go to the code that controls this, and one thought I had was I'd like to have everything drawn around a center point. So this code, the way it works is there's an offset position which expresses in 3 space where I want that face to show up. And then I convert that to a screen position, pixel coordinates X and Y. So I have been drawing the face from using that XY on the screen as the top left of it. And the problem with that is, as I scale it, it changes like the relative position of the face to that point. So right now I've got the face drawing from some kind of top level position, but as soon as I scale it down on just a little bit, let me just do like a little bit so you can kind of see it. So see 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5. So it's converging on a point off over here, which is that kind of like top left corner I was talking about. So if I make that point the center point of the face, when I scale the face up and down, it's still going to be in the same position, roughly. You know, it's going to be relatively in the same position. So it'll be easier for me to pick a point where I want that face to be and kind of reliably have it show up there. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. Pass center X, center Y. Okay, so this center X, center Y will be 0, 0. Hopefully the little algorithm I just came up with is the correct one. So let's see, this is going to be XY. This just changes to XY. I just made myself kind of like emotionally tired by talking emphatically for too long. It's like I put too much emotion into something that isn't really that emotional, and as a result, I'm feeling like somewhat fatigued. I suppose it's not that I was. Anyways, no, I gotta stop psychoanalyzing myself while I'm writing code. Okay. But there's definitely something weird about feeling like slightly angry and energetic about scaling coordinates. There is something weird about that. I don't know what's up with that. Just bringing too much passion to the project, maybe. Okay, I saved it. Now I've got this updated in the editor, so after it does the little delayed Unity build thing, which I'll see the spinner in a moment, it should be a huge mess, but it'll be my mess. It'll be something I can clean up. Now that's weird. I don't think that was right. What happened there? How could that have happened? Oh, well, okay. That's right, I made like kind of like a no-op change there. Okay. So if I take Okay, so first I gotta do the base, and the base is gonna be minus base texture width. divided by 2. Okay, now that should fuck it up. Okay, so now I've actually got it's centered over here. If I go at 0, okay, this is starting to make more sense as far as positioning goes. So these squares are 1 meter, and I have my center point up 2 meters, so that's 1, 2 squares right here. That's this z offset here, -2. I've got my y offset. The y offset shouldn't matter at all, actually, because I'm converting this to a 2D point. Okay, so the center point is where it should be. I need to move these guys a little bit. So let me try. Let me do one at a time. Let's do the eyes first. 0, 0. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't have to get perfect. This is just placeholder art to prove the concept, prove the code works. -150. Do I want to go up a little bit on that? Actually, I can still see this little bit here, so I guess I'll go over a little more. Okay, that seems pretty good. And I'll do the irises next. And they will be underneath of the eyes. So let's see, that's 200. Whoops. Okay. -20. 40, -60, getting there, and 20. There we go. So now she's got like a really suspicious sidelong glance going. Let's get the mouth up there. Okay. There she is. Now here's the big test. The whole point of centering it like this was to enable my scaling to be more reliable. So if I take this down to 0.5, yeah, it keeps all of its proportions because I've got it centered around that 0 point, so multiplying it will scale it correctly. Well, it did that before, but it remains on the same center point is the key thing when I scale it down. So let me test that a little bit more. 1, yeah, okay. Then 0.3. Yeah, I kind of wonder if there isn't like a bunch of empty space in the base. No, there's not. I don't know if it's exactly centered. It seemed like it was before. It just scaled up one at a time. Is it drifting? Yeah, so if I make it tiny, it's actually off to the right a little bit. I mean left. Oh, I think I know why. Now I get it. Because I'm doing an offset from the player, but the player's coordinate system starts in the top left corner here. So if I say my offset is instead of 0.5, there, now it's centered again. Okay. And if I scale up, it remains centered over that area. Okay. So the next thing to do on this is get some device independence. So let me think, what's the best way to do that? I want its scale to be expressed as a percentage of the screen width. So let me change the meaning of this same value here. It will now be not a percentage of the original size in pixels, where 1 is like 100% of the texture size. It will be a percentage of the screen width. So just thinking about this, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I already have this up here. I can just use that. I already made a variable for this already. So width percent, 0.09% is what I said before, or I said 9% before. Okay, let's use that. So let me think. Okay, there's the pixel width there. So what I really want is for the ratio to be passed. I'm going to say width ratio equals pixel width divided by the original width of the base texture. Okay. And then here I can pass width ratio. Let me see what it does. It could do something crazy and fucked up. I don't know. But it seemed like a pretty solid plan. I got high hopes. No. There's an error. Oh, that one's pretty benevolent. Okay, so width percent, why don't we say 1? Oh, okay. That actually kind of worked. It is actually 100% of the screen width right now, so let me scale it down so it happens. 0.9, 0.8. It kind of jumped down pretty quick there. That's kind of weird. 8. Usually when things sort of hop down like that, it's a int rounding thing. So let me take a look. So pixel width, if I just change this to be float. Okay, it's looking better. So now let's try. Let's start at 1 and just. Okay, interesting. Okay, 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4. I'm watching her irises. Are those shifting around? No, they're staying in the same relative position. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then the original value that I had in was 0.09. Okay. That might be close to the size I want to use. But let me make it a little bit bigger. 1, 2, 5. Okay. Alright, gonna try this out in the game to see what the behavior is like. Also, oh yeah, I forgot, I want to do this. I have device independence, or display independence is a better word. Okay. That's good. Hit the play. Watch it go. I'm finishing this extremely fast. So I already hit my victory point, but there's so much time left on the clock that I want to spend that I think I'm going to have to pick another goal or I won't quite be happy. Something kind of off. It wasn't doing that before, I don't think. Maybe it's just that it's so close to the this sort of jerkiness. Maybe it's just because it's so close to the player that it seems stranger when it jerks. I'm not sure what to make of that. Going left to right doesn't look bad. Down. Well, okay. What is going on there? So if I go left to right, it moves kind of instantly. If I go down, well, it's moving with the camera. Or to be honest, is it moving at all? Let me see. So the offset should be not from the camera, it should be from the player. Yeah, I gotta fix that. Okay, that's gonna be my new goal for the session, is to fix the positioning so that I feel good about it. So let me undo that. I don't like that sort of jerky thing it's doing. So I've got, this isn't really a good representative starting view where the camera is at there. I think I will adjust that a little bit. Yeah, make that go up a little higher. Yeah, the angle seems kind of wrong too. Okay, so I've got face player attached to the player. This offset should be based not on the camera, but the location relative to the player. You know what I could do is I could add some kind of smoothing. I'm not convinced that there isn't some other bug though. So let me just, let's put this back to -2. Whoops. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I want to see the face up off the player. I'll go even a little higher. Okay, let's just see what that looks like in game. So there's a difference in the positioning from the player in game because the camera angle's different. It just occurred to me, another way I could do it that would be much more consistent is I can take the XYZ point from the top of the player's head and have the offset be from the 2D point that's at their head instead of making a 3D offset. I'm just trying to kind of get the gist of what I'm seeing in my head. Left to right, it's fine. It's doing what I expect it to do if I go like that. And then I go up or down. It has this kind of jerk and drift type of a thing. Here it's just kind of rock solid on the player like I wanted. On the y-axis, jerk and drift. Or is it? Yeah, there's a little jerk there at the beginning. So why? Why would that be the case? So the offset is based on the transform of the player game object. This thing I'm circling. Yeah, so I had this thought of maybe adding some smoothing to it, but it feels like there's something I don't understand that's producing the behavior in the first place. So to apply smoothing to it would be some kind of sweeping under the rug of a bug, and it might work. It might. Okay. So one thing I'm thinking is I should look at my code and see what the difference is between x coordinates and y coordinates. That might give me a clue. Because y is focaccia and x is just fine. Yeah, see that? Okay, so when I okay, watch this. So I'm gonna like do a diagonal thing here. Yeah, the x is just updating immediately, y is not. Let's check it out. So I pass in center x, center y. XY fluid scale. Okay. Center x plus x times scale. Center x plus x. Same. Okay. It's okay. So one thing that affects this is the camera movement. Kind of makes sense, because you can't know the screen X and Y without the camera. Camera is moving. So let me do another thing. Let me God, no, that won't do it. Okay. This is possibly a hard bug to fix. So I'm going to start thinking of ideas for fixing it. Alright, vague, poorly formed idea. Add more visual debugging. I don't know exactly what I do there yet. Number 2, dig into Follow camera code. I just it seems unlikely to produce a lead. Number 3. What else? Turn off. Follow camera code. That's easy to try at least. That is easier to try than other things. +1, easy test. What would it tell me? It would tell me if the problem was related or required the camera movement in order to show it. Still don't know how that would get me to a solution. 4, what else? Did I have it working before? With the old code? Did the old code work? I almost feel like going back in the same video and just like checking the video. Huh. If it worked, add in changes to narrow down. Okay. So, what else? What else? None of those seem too inspiring to me right now. Like, I feel kind of like they're not going to get me closer. I mean, I can log values. I think the mystery is in this function, world to screen point. Current camera, world to screen point. Let me just read the documentation for world to screen point. See if it suggests anything to me. Oh, I just thought of something. So, bottom left of the screen is 0, 0. Bottom, it's flipped. That feels germane. If my friend Jermaine ever watches this, I'm sorry for confusing him. Must be a great burden to have a name like Jermaine, because people expect you to say things that are relevant to the discussion at hand. But that's my best lead right there. Flipped Y? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I'm going to look at next. Okay. So X center plus. Let's just do center minus. I think that's the change. Let's try that. I'll wait for the build to kick in. Come on, build. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Spin, spin. Do it. Okay, finally. It's building. I feel like I need to get a new Mac with a complete solid state drive. I think that might be a way to make it go faster in general. Oh, well, before I hit play, I should fix all this crap. But let's just see if this mess moves around in the right way. Okay. Waiting for the frame rate to pick up a little bit. No, still skipping. Yeah, but I think the concept is right. I just didn't make the code change correctly. Because what is it doing? It's kind of like jerking in the wrong direction to start, and then it settles in eventually. So I think it's like that. It's like that. I think it's the right concept. Just need to think it through properly. Okay, so we say so this XY is reversed. If I wanted to, I could do Y equals, I can just make it easier for myself to understand the code by going screen height minus screen position Y. That should unflip it. What? This needs to be int. There. So let's try that. That should give me the type of coordinates I'm used to. If nothing else, it'll be easier for me to understand when I make changes to the code. Okay, face is corrected. Okay. There. Let's try that. Yes. Yes. I figured it out with my brain. Alright. So this is basically the victory lap right here. I'm going to walk through and do a little demo, and I'm also going to check out the movement of the head when I do things like flinging, which is a sudden movement. Okay, that's kind of interesting. The camera comes in. That's okay though. I'm alright with that. So I'm waiting for God to open up the room to the east, and I'll go over there. Yes, it is working. It is working well. Alright. Now I'm just being maybe a little tiny bit self-indulgent. It's also nice seeing, even though it's not the final artwork, to see some good-looking artwork up here. I have a big store of it from a previous project. It's artwork that I actually had commissioned by an artist, Bettina Throckmorton. It does make me wonder though, maybe I should repurpose it. Man, I could like make the 3D model more easily match this head than get new awesome high quality 2D facial rigs. I don't know. I will dwell on that. Alright. That was victory. I'm going to sign off here. That's the end of a session. Only 53 minutes I spent on it. No, but this is just a good stopping point. Alright. I will be back on tomorrow. I'm going to keep going with this. I'm going to kind of... I won't decide what I'm going to do next. But I'll continue with the faces, and I'll pick some other work to do on the faces and just get it all done in one session, just like I usually do. Alright. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream right now. Stopping the stream right now.